Good afternoon. It's a Friday Audible. Kim Bokamper, Joe Rose with you. And, Joe, you just walked in a little bit ago.
I did.
What's the temperature out there, about 80 maybe?
It's high 70s, almost 80, yeah.
Almost 80?
Yeah.
And we're right here in the bubble?
Yeah. No, nothing outside. Today we've been nice
Super Bowl's
outdoor.
what, 2 days away?
Right?
They're in 1 degree temperature up in Minnesota right now.
Can you believe that?
1 degree temperature up there. And that's not even counting the wind chill.
Well, how would you like to have that 4-day package that you usually get when you go to the NFL, to the Super Bowl?
Get in there Thursday, right?
4-day package, and you're going, okay, game day's fine because it's indoor. Yep. Minnesota got a beautiful stadium now. But what are you going to do the other 3 days when it's below zero?
I was talking this with somebody last night. If you were in Miami, if you were in L.A., I'm trying to think where else. Phoenix, other places where they've
right, beautiful weather.
You're out playing golf right now, right?
Right.
Or you're playing tennis.
Right.
Or you're out doing some activity out there, right?
Go for a walk.
You know what you're doing right now if you're in Minnesota? Drinking your ass off.
Right.
And that's all you're doing.
You're
walking from one bar to the next bar. Hey, man, what are you doing, man? Well, I was already at that bar, been to this bar. In 20 minutes, I'm going to that other bar over there.
They said everybody's staying in their hotels, drinking.
Yeah,
Great for those hotels.
Great for the hotels.
Nobody's leaving going, no, we'll just drink here today. There's no reason to go out.
Well,
cold.
Downtown Minnesota, I'm downtown Minneapolis. I don't know how many people have been to downtown Minneapolis, but whoever's you feel like you're in one of those gerbil things, right? Because all the buildings are, and then they have the little tunnels that go from one to above ground tunnels that go. You never have to go outside. No. That's how cold it is out there. But after a while, you're looking for that wheel to get on and start running around, because you never get outside.
And Media Day, I don't know if you heard, is at the big mall over there that they have. And so everybody's in there. They're not leaving there. They're staying in there eating all day, even after their shows and stuff. So,
I was watching yesterday on the NFL Network. They're starting to get all the guys are in there now, and so getting all the guys on TV that are rolling through trying to sell something, right?
Right. Some
get
product.
Them on and,
right.
I'll tell you who I think is going to win, but first let me tell you about this new Sprint Airwaves or whatever, you know what I mean? One of those kind of things. But anyway, it's funny because, they've got it set up, and it looks nice and everything, and there's two guys come up, and they're being interviewed by some guy. They go, well, how's your experience been so far? Man, it is cold out there.
Right.
I walked out there, the wind hit me, oh, my God, I thought I was going to die.
Right.
No. And that's what you're hearing from these guys over there.
I understand we want to take care of everybody that builds a new stadium.
Yep.
And you want to reward them with a Super Bowl.
Right.
But, Bo,
come on, man.
It's just ridiculous. Like, you don't sound like you care about your fan base.
Well, let me tell you this. The Dolphins have a Super Bowl coming in 2020. Leon, when was the last time the Dolphins had a Super Bowl? When Miami had a Super Bowl down here? That had to be 10 years, right?
I think was the last one we had was the rain, where we got the rain.
No. There was one after that.
Was there one after?
Oh,
you're right.
Yes.
Right. That's right.
Because there was the one where we had rain. Two
right.
Super
that
Bowls
was
ago.
Chicago and
in Indianapolis. That's when Peyton won his Super Bowl. And it rained that game. And the NFL says, oh, that's it. No more Super Bowls until you guys get a dome or until you do this or you do that. So it rained one Super Bowl they've had in South Florida is rain. One.
Right.
Oh, we can't have any more Super Bowls there. Oh, but you can have your second one here in Minnesota where it's 1 freaking degree out there.
Makes
and it's
no
probably
sense.
going to be 20 below wind chill at some point. But you can do that. That's fine. But God forbid it would rain one day in South Florida where you got a Super Bowl, where meanwhile everyone else has been out fishing in the ocean, playing golf,
about one thing,
on the beach, the whole thing.
All about new stadiums.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's what it is.
I wish he'd just come out and go, it's about new stadiums, nothing else.
Yeah, that's it.
Better.
Give us a new look. They had it up in New York in the Meadowlands, which is a shitty stadium to begin with. They spent all that money on that thing, and it's a
what
piece
is
of
that
crap.
thing? You want to talk about no personality?
Let me ask you a question, Joe. You were in the old MetLife.
Yeah. And
you've been in the new MetLife. Any difference?
No.
The scoreboard's the only difference.
No.
That's it.
I'm guessing the suites must be nicer.
I imagine all this, the fan stuff, yeah.
You want to talk about a big stadium's got no personality?
None.
I guess it's all right if we take shots at other stadiums.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
It is. But anyway. Hey, Joe, the other thing I wanted to touch on a little bit, and we'll get to some other stuff here. There's really no news to speak of, but we'll answer some questions and do that. Joe, you and I both had the opportunity to play in 2 Super Bowls with this football team. And every time the Super Bowl comes around, I kind of start getting that feeling of the first time, and and my memories of going to the Super Bowl began at that point in the game against the New York Jets in the AFC Championship game down here in the Orange Bowl, where you knew we'd won the game.
Right.
I don't know whether it was maybe 30 seconds, however many left, where hey, we won this damn game, and then you start looking and go, well, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Right. Kind of kicks in.
You kind of go, whoa, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, you're off.
You're there.
You're off and running. And the experience, Joe, I don't know about you. I'm sure you was same as me. Small town in California. Never expected to be anywhere. Never even expected to go see a Super Bowl, much less play in a Super Bowl.
Crazy.
And now you're sitting there and you walk in your room, right, Joe? And you had that little bag, your Nike bag.
That's right.
Oh, man, check out this T-shirt. Super
Bowl,
Bowl, whatever.
Right.
I don't know which one,
Appreciated everything.
Pasadena, California. You go, wow, this is awesome, man. And the week that, obviously, the good thing is you get there a couple days early to where you can kind of soak things in.
Right.
And then Wednesday you get to work.
Right.
Wednesday you're back on the field. It's back to work. And you
now it's kicking in. You got a game.
Mode.
Right.
But the experience of going to your first Super Bowl, being involved in it, and the one thing that always got me, Joe, you'd be sitting there, you'd be sitting there and you watch the news on TV or whatever, in whatever city. For us, it was Pasadena and San Francisco in the next time. And you're looking at the news and you're looking at, all these celebrities are here, and there's John Belushi, or there's this guy, here's so and so. Hey, the president's going to be in town for the game. And you're sitting there going, yeah, but you know what? Everyone's here to watch us. Watch us, because we're the game.
Right.
We're what everyone here in the world is looking at, the game we're getting ready to play in.
Yeah, no question. It is great. And I got to tell you, I know where you're going with what the Patriots have been able to do. Bo, we went to 17 and 19, and what the Patriots are doing right now, no matter how you feel about them, give them credit. They went out and got home field advantage. Get the number one seed, which is the easiest road there. Never leave throughout the playoffs, and then get ready for another Super Bowl.
Win 2 games, and you're in the Super Bowl.
That's it.
Get that. This is for all Dolphin fans and for all Dolphin players. If you're watching this, the road to the Super Bowl is get a bye, win a division, get a bye.
That's right.
You win your first playoff game. Next thing you know, you're in the championship game. You're one game away from. After you win one game, you're one game away from going to the big game. And if you're playing at home, all the more better for you.
No, I agree. And by the way, don't ever let anybody sell you that week off while they're playing those wild card games.
Oh, no.
Listen, it's nice to have that off. Get your team
they're
fresh.
Have to shake the rust off.
No, don't worry about
that.
No,
don't worry about
your coach, you get a coach like Don Shula, it's been around, and there's going to be no rust.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So it kind of leads to my point about the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles in this football game. Joe, I personally think it's going to be a blowout. I think New England beats these guys handily. And I think one of the reasons is for the New England Patriots and for the main player, for the Tom Brady's, the Bill Belichick's, the Danny Amendolas, the Nate Solders, the guys that have been on that team for a while now, played in a number of Super Bowls and been there. It's tantamount to a preseason game for them from the standpoint that they know what it is. It's routine. They've been there. They're not. Oh, wow, look at this.
I think they're more focused being in Minnesota.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's just go play the game. Nothing else.
There's nothing for me to do here. Nothing for me to go out and do.
I agree.
I'll go have dinner with my family and this and it, but that's about as far as it's going to go. I think so. Flip to the other side of Philadelphia, where new experience. They're opening up those bags for the first time, and hey, check out my Super Bowl swag I got. And they got to deal with tickets, right? They got the tickets. I guarantee everyone from New England, before they left New England, their ticket thing was done and over with. Right?
Belichick reminded them, I don't want to hear about it. For those of you who haven't been around, get it done. Talk to the veterans. And you're right. Philadelphia is going, hey, can I get a couple extra, man?
So I'm not talking about X's and O's in the difference in this game. To me, it's the experience of New England and how many playoff games, championship games, Super Bowls they've been in and won that makes it hard for me to think this isn't going to be anything but a blowout.
See, I think this will be a close game, Bo. At the end of the day, when we get past Belichick and Brady, which is a lot, I think they win the game. But Bo, I don't think this is New England's most talented team.
No, I don't. No,
I've seen them more talented.
Let me tell you what, their team last year wasn't their most talented team
I know.
either.
And they came back from 4 touchdowns.
And that's the other thing to me. That's the other thing with New England, Joe. You can talk about last year's Super Bowl. If you got to talk about last year's Super Bowl, you got to talk about this year's game against Jacksonville in the championship game, where it looked like they were done done and buried in the
20
first half.
20 to 10, right?
And Joe, the games that we've seen in New England, where the Dolphins, you go in halftime going, man, the Dolphins, look, they've pressured Brady. He's uncomfortable back there.
I saw the second half.
We're down 3 or we're up 3. Feel pretty good about it. And then the second half, here comes a steamroller.
Score 20-something straight points.
And they do it all the time. And New England goes in the locker room in the Super Bowl this Sunday, and they're down 10 points. You think they're worried?
No.
Not at all.
Would you, after the greatest comeback in history of a Super Bowl, and what they did to Jacksonville with that great defense, picked them apart late in the game? No, Bo, I agree that stuff psychologically, and Bo, I don't think it's just players. I think coaches change the way they coach late in those games.
Well, you take a look at Jacksonville against them, and this is where you fall in the New England trap, right? You come out in the first half. You're doing some creative stuff offensively.
Working.
You're doing what you need to do against Brady, putting pressure on him. He's moving around. He's getting hit. He's uncomfortable back there, which is the game plan. You're rushing 4 guys. That's the game plan to beat New England. That's the giant game plan to beat New England, right? Rush 4 guys, put pressure on them, play defense. They get ahead. Second half of the game, they come out. Hand off up the middle to Fournette. Hand off to the middle up to Fournette. Now it's 3rd and 8. And now you're
incomplete pass. Whatever.
Then you get the ball again, hand off to Fournette, hand off to. They just kind of lost their. They kind of go in that. They did it at the end of the half when they decided not to just run the clock out, and you kind of saw where they were coming.
Right.
And meanwhile, New England in that second half, they said, "No, we're putting the pedal to the metal here."
Bo, I think you felt this way too when when Jacksonville was playing New England. I just felt like the whole time. Even though Jacksonville's having great success, I just felt like they're going, hey, you don't do anything crazy. I always feel like Blake Bortles being told, don't make a mistake. Now, if it's there, take it, but don't. You're putting negative thoughts in the guy. I think he's so worried about it at the end of the game, like you're waiting on. Just don't turn it over, man. You got a defense.
And you would imagine that would have been part of the conversation in the locker room for Jacksonville. Hey, look, we got them where we want them. Let's just not make. Let's not give up the big play. Let's not make the big mistakes. Let's not turn the ball over.
Defense might be able to do enough.
We can get here, And then and meanwhile, New England's over there going, no. We know what these guys are doing now. We can shred them here. We can beat them here.
Field position got better.
Yep, exactly.
And better, shorter field for New England. Yep. Next thing you know, they win the game.
So, but that's kind of where I'm at with this football team. I
just think Philadelphia got the same record as New England. Ball. I think it's going to be a close game.
I understand that, but I keep telling myself, why beat my head against the wall, trying to think this football team's going to lose when they win all the time, when they do it. So
a quarterback does make a big difference.
Quarterback and coach, and then the other guys, right?
Who play the system, don't make mistakes. You trust them all.
Yeah, but that's
all good players. They just don't.
Boy, I tell mistakes. You, they don't. All right, let's knock out some of these questions. Black Man Game back in the show. He's been gone for a little while. What are the chances we sign Jarvis before free agency starts?
Let me hear your take on this one.
My take on this is they better sign him before free agency starts, because I think if you go put him out there, and if people start bidding for him, I don't know that you're going to reel him back in.
I think if you don't sign him, somebody's going to front load a contract, load it up at the front end, San Francisco 49ers, and some other teams that have more than $100 million under the cap, and there's a few of them out there. You're talking about a 25-year-old receiver who, I don't want to get in whether he's outside, inside. He's just a good receiver.
He's a good player.
And it would be a big blow for this team to lose him.
And I'll tell you this. Here, my thought on Jarvis right now at this moment, is that if you sign him before the free agency period begins, I'd say there's a 75% chance of that in my mind. Maybe a few weeks ago it was up to 85%. I'm saying it's down to 75 in my mind right now. If you don't sign him before free agency, that number to me drops down to about 40%.
Yeah. He hits the open market. Yeah. I do believe he wants to be here. By the way, did you see him in the Pro Bowl and all those games? He wants to win everything.
He's a competitive guy. You're going to find.
He was looking to win the MVP and the Pro Bowl. He's looking to win all the different things they do before. He wants to win all those competitions. I just, that's the guy wrong with that. That's refreshing to see.
But I'm Joe. I mean, you disagree. I mean, I think he hits the market chance are slim of re-signing him. But I think I don't know. I keep thinking, they're going to.
You don't seem as sold as you used to be.
No, I'm not. Just over the last, I've heard the rumblings are kind of out there, And Joe, the other thing that nobody can pinpoint is that agent. And that agent, and Jarvis is saying, hey, yeah, you know what? That deal sounds fair to me. I want to re-sign with Miami. He goes, yeah, but you're leaving money on the table. You're leaving money on the table.
The agent has no loyalty to anybody.
And if you're leaving your money on the table, you're leaving some of my money on the table also.
Right. And his job is to get his client
max him out.
As much money. Don't get caught up on who you think's the nicest
coach.
I know you're going to miss Devontae and Kenny, and you guys are all tight.
I really don't want to play in Cleveland. Yeah, but they're going to give you over 4 years, $12 more million.
You're going to get paid while you're doing this. You only play. You only got a certain amount of years. Your prime years are before 30.
Joe, I'm afraid of what you're talking about, San Francisco, especially after San Francisco with Garoppolo. He comes in and wins 5. Those guys are on a. They're on a high,
openly
man.
Talking out in the Bay Area about getting Jarvis Landry. This is not even hiding it. It's not like you and I making something up. They're talking about it out there.
Duke Dennis from Periscope. Hey, fellas, which rookie are you anticipating to have the best year 2?
Well,
I'm going to say Raekwon McMillan.
I know you are because
he's going to play
year
1.
And he is, again, because he's just about 100. I just saw him. Matter of fact, he's already
working
he
out.
And Charles Harris are already in here. I was shocked. And I think part of greatness for those guys is the fact that they are here. And they're already working out. So what you did, took a week off, back ready to go. You're right about Raekwon. I think he's going to be really good. But I'm going to go Charles Harris. I think Charles Harris.
I'm with you.
And I got fans telling me, he's going to be a bust.
No.
And they're worried about the Dion syndrome again.
No.
This guy has got something. This guy's motor runs.
Yeah.
And he's motivated, and he wants to be great.
Yeah.
I think he comes back. I think he starts.
Yep.
I think he gets his snaps, and they're counting on him to make that big year 2 jump.
I wouldn't argue that for a moment.
So I'm going to go with those 2 guys.
Yeah, those 2 guys, no doubt about
Let's go 1 and 2 in the draft.
I'm with you. Periscope at DFA 73. What do you think of David Woodley? What did you think of David Woodley taking to a Super Bowl? Does he compare to Nick Foles? No. David Woodley and Nick Foles are 2 different animals out there. I mean, Nick Foles has played and started a lot of games, and Nick Foles is a guy that I think that looks at his game plan every now and then.
I always feel a little awkward doing this because, first of all, he was my roommate.
Yes.
When we got drafted together.
And he's the late David Woodley.
And he's the late David Woodley. He passed away probably, gosh, Bo.
10 years ago, more?
No, it's getting close to 15 years ago now that he passed away.
Wow.
So you look at it, and somebody will probably look it up. I don't know exactly how old he was. I think he's mid-40s when he passed away. But Bo, you're right.
Two different animals there.
Just a different guy. Listen, he had some talent. You don't play in the NFL without some talent. He could run. He had a really good arm.
Yeah.
But he didn't put a lot of time into the game. It sounds like I'm taking a shot at
No. Look, it is what it is. Look, we both played with him, and you kind of knew what he was. And look, people take shots at David Woodley. I say, you know what? Took us to a Super Bowl. Went to a Super Bowl with him as our quarterback.
He did,
and that says something.
And he had a nice guy in the Woodstock days.
Yep.
Because you had Don Strock coming in and cleaned up a lot of messes.
And the other thing that he did, maybe better than anybody, was he just drove Gastineau crazy, right? They let Gastineau go to field. They throw a little swing, a little shuffle pass underneath or whatever. I mean, and those were our guys to beat at the time. Obviously, we'll beat them in the AFC Championship game. But those were the guys in the AFC East that you had to beat. He beat them 3 times and did it in a lot of different ways.
I'm glad you said that because Gastineau he was worried about getting sacks and he was free, and they let him go up the field and think he was getting a sack and just go underneath them and do whatever they wanted.
Opening day, I think we played up in New York.
That's right.
Let him run up the field. Dave would take a step or 2, a little shuffle pass underneath to Tony Nathan.
That's right.
There you go.
Big plays.
I think we scored 45 points on him or something.
Big plays. What an opener that was. Crazy.
It was hot, too. I remember that. Joshua Dupree. Bo, when can I come by and be a co-host on the show? Never.
Bo, come on.
No, I had to. It's like teeing a ball up for me.
You know what?
It's
we
like
want you.
It's like
we want
putting
you.
on a batting tee and it'll make me swing.
Whereabouts are you? Wherever you are.
Here's what I'm gonna have to talk to the powers that be, Logan, right, and Leon, because they're the only two that are here right now. So
Jeff may get involved in that.
Jeff may get involved. Yeah, so here's my thing. Why don't we try to do something? We need to try to, since we're in the off season here in the Audible, we need to put something together.
Yeah.
Some kind of a contest, some kind of a whatever, where whoever wins gets to come in and be a co-host for a show. How's that sound?
I like that.
Fan-based.
I do like that idea.
Yeah, fan-based.
It's know everything.
Be one of these guys. Black Man Game. It's got to be El Chapo, Duke Dennis. Anybody who wants to come in.
Well, I think that's very nice of you, and I hope they do set that up because these guys would like to come on.
Yeah, and I'd like to have them.
And be involved.
Some guys, some of them are idiots. I mean, some of the stuff that they write.
Well, you'll let them know.
It's very idiotic.
You will let them know.
I'll let them know, yeah. Yeah, you come now. That's one thing. If you're going to come in, if you're going to win this contest, and we're going to try to put this together, if you win this thing and come in, don't think it's going to be a soft touch sitting in that chair now.
Yeah.
You're going to get challenged a little bit.
Yeah, don't come in saying we need to take a defensive end with a first-round pick and then expect to get a hall pass.
Yeah, and you might be ready because if you're sitting there, I might just put this mic down and walk away for about 5 minutes and let you go solo.
And let him go.
And go solo, yeah. Oh. All right. What's up, Leon?
Did Leon color his hair? Your hair looks darker.
He does. He colored a little
Leon,
bit.
you color your hair a little bit?
No, he's using. You know what? He's using that just for man. He's using that
you
just for.
You looks a little darker.
He's
than
using
it's
that just for men.
Your beard's nice and gray, and that hair's
just
jet
takes
black.
away a little. Just takes away a little.
I'm familiar with that program, bro.
Takes away, dark a little bit and leaves the gray. But the problem with Leon's hair, it's not the color. Somebody's got to get a ruler for him, because that line, that, what do you call that right there? That, huh?
That's the way he cuts it, Bo.
Yeah, but it's like this. It's like, it's supposed to be a straight line. You got stuff jotting.
Well, I'll tell you what, nobody's safe around here with you. You are you're tough on this.
You know what it looks like? Some of that dye that he's using is like dripping down his forehead. Is kind of.
I'm just looking. There's a little gray on the side there, towards the side.
Anyway, so Joshua, I appreciate the question, and if you come out on top of the deal, then you're going to be the kind. We're going to do that. I'm going to do that.
That'd be nice.
Ignashka Kaleska from Facebook, who I found out the last show, that's his stage name. He doesn't go by his real name on this show.
Fine. Nobody likes to give it out.
That's
I
all right.
Understand that.
Hey, Bo, can a tight end be drafted and converted to defense to cover tight ends, cover other tight ends? No, I wouldn't. I don't know that would be my.
You're getting really too sophisticated, thinking like the guy
it'd be a lot easier if you would draft a kid, Raekwon. What's his name? Raekwon
McMillan.
Raekwon Smith from Georgia, that linebacker from Georgia. And draft him and ask him to cover a tight end.
I would agree. That would be the best way to go. Don't get too creative out there trying to figure out. I do understand we need to do a better job of covering tight ends.
Yeah, but
I'm with you on that. But don't think like a former tight end knows what a active tight end wants to do, and don't start switching. By the way, it's one thing to play basketball and come out and be a tight end or a defensive end at some point in your career because you're a really good athlete as you're younger. It's another to be tight end, and then all of a sudden
they're standing around there and play linebacker.
Cover tight ends.
That's a tough transition there. Facebook, John Waddell. Who do the Fish go after at quarterback? Pay another 1-year free agent, or draft a quarterback early and hope for the best with Tanny? I'm on Plan B there. Draft a quarterback this year in the draft. Let him challenge Tannehill and go that way. I'm not for. Let's go find a guy who's got 2 more years left of game and sign him as a free agent.
Well, I'm with you.
To be our backup.
There's too many guys in this draft.
Yeah.
By the way, one of those top 4 probably going to fall to you at 11 if you want them, and if not, there's more guys that are going to go in the second and third round. Find one of those guys. Spend $1 zillion in your front office on drafting guys. Find a guy and make him a backup.
Yeah, look, I'm for. I wouldn't be against walking out there at the start of training camp and seeing Ryan and 2 guys that haven't been here before. 2 young guys drafted. One that's obviously a little better that can challenge to start that next year, or at least be qualified enough to where if Ryan goes down, that guy can step in and play, and you're not afraid to put him in there and play. And then you have a guy back there that's another draft pick or free agent that you feel can really grow into the system.
I think Adam Gase likes the guy who started or played most of that game against Buffalo. I think he likes Fales a lot.
Yeah, well, I like David too, but I'm look,
I'm just saying. I think he's going to be one of the three quarterbacks. Got a good chance.
No, only problem with him is he'd have to be the backup quarterback because he can't go on the practice squad again. He can't be that guy.
No, right.
And therein lies his problem. A. Oliver 714, Boy and Joe, what are your favorite memories from the Super Bowls that you played in? Not a whole lot of favorite memories of I had a lot of good memories before the game kicked off.
Yeah,
not so much after that.
I had much better memories of Washington because I really thought we were going to win that game. We had the lead at the half and still had it even late in the ball game, had a chance to win. My memory was I wish David Woodley would have been taken out and Don Strock would have been put in that second half.
Yeah.
That would have been.
Yeah, it's tough. Look, I've told people this time.
That's my how many years later, second guess.
I've told people time and time again, I'd rather have not gone to a Super Bowl than lost a Super Bowl.
I'll tell you one that hurt me, man. The one in Washington hurt.
Yeah.
The one going back home, Bo.
Yeah.
That really hurt.
Yeah. Well, two. I mean, one.
And they were really good. Listen, 49ers were great, and you guys were all banged up.
They were a good football team.
Yeah. It's tough.
McLovin, hey, Joe, you talked to Braxton Berrios. Do you think he has what it takes to be a difference maker in the NFL? We talked about this a little bit the other day with John Congemi here on the show. Someone brought up Braxton Berrios again. Small guy out there, but, you know, and I said, you know where you see Braxton Berrios?
Go ahead and say it. He says
New
England.
In New England.
He said it.
He's a perfect fit.
Great returning kicks.
Yep.
I mean, that guy
Sure-handed.
does not drop anything in punt returns, and he's really good underneath.
Yeah. I can picture him running that little crossing route.
No, he's good in and out stuff.
Brady leaves him out in front, 5-yard reception that goes for 25 or 30.
You know what, Bo? It's funny talking to him because he's working out right down the street here at the Bomberitos with all these guys work out. His big thing was he's getting ready for one thing at that combine, that 40-yard dash.
He's just got to get –
he says he's going to run. I'm dying to see what he runs. I said a 4.5 something, and he wants to go under 4.5.
Really?
That's flying.
Yeah. How big is he, Joe?
He's 5'9", I don't know, 180.
Yeah.
Small guy.
Hey, but you know what?
He's tough now, boy. He's
the kind of guy you want on your team. I mean,
he's a leader of that offense this year. He's a big part of it.
He didn't play much last year, Joe.
No.
Right? His junior year?
Really disappointed.
Yeah.
Actually kind of kicked things off in the bowl game his junior year when he kind of got things going.
Yeah. Anthony Shake Felicio from Facebook. Bo, did you give Raekwon any advice with his knee, being you went through the same thing? You know what? I'll be honest with you. He injured that knee. I haven't seen him since.
You have seen him?
I've seen him, but
he's traveled.
Yeah.
He's not a guy that talks a lot, but I see him on the bench before the game, sitting there and stuff.
But there are times that I've thought about, because I went through the same thing with him. You know, I blew first opening kickoff of my first game in the Orange Bowl preseason, blew my knee out. I was done for the year.
Right.
And look, as a rookie, and when that happened to him, I'm thinking to myself, kind of brought me back in that position. Well, I'm thinking to myself, man, is my career, is this it? Is this
it worked out, and he knows, like you did, when he comes back, he's playing.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt.
It's kind of nice to know. He was penciled in as a rookie to start, and he's penciled in year 2 as a starter.
I can tell you this. From my rookie year, all the testing we did my rookie year, when I came back after that year on injury reserve, my numbers were all way up the chart because I spent so much time rehabbing and getting stronger and making sure your leg is and doing all that. So, and I would assume that's what.
Well, he looks big and strong right now. It's just he's been in
you know
here.
what? And I'm sure this has gone through his mind. It went through my mind. I said, look, I don't want to be a guy who was drafted high by a football team, and just because I got hurt, never sets foot on the field.
That's right.
I don't want I don't want that. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder in and out. You know
what I never asked you? It's after all these years, you were a first-round pick. Did you ever feel the pressure even back then of being a first-round pick?
All the time. You know, I walked in.
Boy, we are tough. NFL cities are tough on first-round picks that don't work out. We got friends that played for the Dolphins that people walk by him and say, That guy couldn't
How
play.
about this? I walk into this defense. And Jake Scott, Dick Anderson is still on that defense. Tim Foley was on that defense. Nick Bonacani was there.
Big Vern.
Vern Denherter was there. Manny Stanfield was there. Bill Stanfield was there.
So why those guys from the undefeated team were still
A
playing?
lot of those guys still. Now they were at the end of their career.
Yeah.
And I walked in. Bob Matheson, who the 53 defense was named after Bob Matheson, he was the guy I came in to take his place. I come in there by the end of the first week of practice. I'm starting over. I'm in front of Bob Matheson. You don't think I felt that pressure of all those guys that had gone 17-0, Super Bowls, the whole thing? Saying I don't want to be the guy dragging this thing down to the gutter, So, but yeah, no, definitely. What's worse, Patriots winning again or Jay Ajayi winning? I don't care about that. Jay Ajayi. Look, I like Jay Ajayi when he was here. I'd be happy to see him win.
He's good to us.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Listen, that guy's a good player, and it pisses me off when a guy leaves and people badmouth him. Like stuff leaks out of something, whatever it was.
Whatever the situation,
that guy's a hell of a running back.
He was, yes.
Period.
Look, for a guy that was drafted in the 5th round from Boise, he came in with a bad knee, and you never thought he was going to be anything.
He made this front office look pretty good.
You're darn right. So I got nothing against Jay Ajayi. I know he's a different guy year 2 than last year than he was the year before, but I got nothing against him. And I've kind of hardened myself to the Patriots winning. So okay, they won another one. Jay, if Philadelphia wins and beats New England, I'd be just as happy, and I'd be happy for Jay. I got no bone to pick with him.
Me too.
Duke Dennis, he's trying to get into this. He's trying to get into the contest already.
Okay.
Starting a contest off for himself through Periscope. I'll fly out. He's willing to pay his own way out here.
I think you'll get a lot of that.
Although he's in Opelika, so it's not that he's
but you know what, Bo? I think not only locally, but I think people will come in if they know they're going to be on the big show with you.
Look, if they come across country, maybe they get 2 days on or something. We'll figure that out.
All right.
But we got to talk to the bosses.
Guys at the top.
Lucy at Lucy Periscope. Thoughts on the UCF linebacker Shaquem Griffin? Right. Let's get him. Look, if you don't like that guy, you don't like any good stories in sports,
man. That is.
That's one of the awesome stories.
That's right there at the top, man.
The only guy I can look at with him. He's a guy that he was born with his hand wasn't right. It was painful for him.
Right.
And so eventually he said, look, let's just take that thing off. So they took his hand off, and he's one of the premier linebackers in college football right now.
What a nice story, man. You don't think people are going to be rooting for that guy at the next level?
The only guy that I can think of that to me is close to that is Jim Abbott. You remember the pitcher?
That's right.
Jim Abbott, who had a
left-handed pitcher, had the one with the one arm and kept
put his glove
underneath.
Throw and put it back on. I mean, you see those guys and you just shake your head and say, hey, well, these guys are
great stories,
unbelievable. And I watching this guy play, and you'd say, well, the people. No. I don't care if this guy had 3 arms. You can't play much better than he's played up at UCF.
He was
that guy.
a big part of UCF going undefeated.
No doubt.
He did.
No doubt. YouTube, Polo. Hey, Bokamper, you forgot your hairline at home. LOL. Well, you're right. I did. It keeps moving backwards. If you think this part of my hairline is bad, look at that part right there. Right there. That's where it's bad. I told there was Joe, you've spoken stuff with kids and stuff, right? Yeah. And I remember I was speaking with some kids, high school or whatever, and at Q&A time, right? Some kid goes, hey, can I ask you, how tall are you? I said, well, I'm 6'6". He goes, what's the best thing about being that tall? I said, well, I got a bald spot right on top of my head, but nobody knows about it.
Right, nobody gets to see it.
Because they can't see it.
Right.
Exactly. And that was it. So, yeah. Yeah, what's up with your hairline anyway? That thing hasn't moved in I've known you for 40 years, Joe.
You know what,
and that hairline hasn't budged.
I told you
1 inch.
The big thing when I get up in the morning, dark brown or jet black. Those are the only decisions I have to make. Dark brown or jet black. That's all. Or if I want to go salt and pepper,
you go a little salt and pepper.
I can do that. Whatever I need to do.
You need to go to Leon's barber. I'm going to start calling Leon's barber Jittery Jack because he must be like kind of doing this kind of stuff, right? With it.
You'll have him all messed up.
That's all right. All right, that's going to do it for the game. Hey, enjoy Super Bowl weekend. It's going to be fun. Sunday's going to be a great day. I hope your team wins, whether it's New England or Philadelphia, whatever.
Commercials, dilly,
all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll have a good time.
The whole day is great.
Yeah.
The whole day is
Parties.
good. And whole thing is.
What do you got going to Bokamper's must be?
That
must be huge.
We still got seats though. We're pretty close to full, but we got a couple seats. We got some. We bring in extra tables, Joe. We can slide them in the corner. Slide. What you need? We can slide in the corner over here.
Like that fight. I was like, how can we get any more people in this place on that fight?
Oh,
I'll tell you, I had a good time.
All right. All right. They threw a question to us out here. Favorite Super Bowl food of choice, Joe? Think of Super Bowl. What do you think of?
Chicken wings.
Yeah, it is chicken wings.
Is it for you too?
You know what? Chicken wings in a very close second, and maybe even 1A, 1B. A big plate of nachos with everything on them. Everything on them. Little chicken, little beef.
Yeah.
Little jalapenos.
That stuff. Yeah, a little bite to it. Ooh, that's good too.
Little spice. Look at Logan over there. He's looking at his chops back there. All right, that's going to do it for the Audible.
He's ready to eat that camera. You got him so excited.
We'll be back on Monday. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you then.